And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Artificium. This is the Russian box that Asmodee has made it to. And this is a game in which you're going to be using card play to get resources, to get points. Now, don't turn off the video yet, because that's what I thought too. But what I was interested in is the fact that this goes to 6 players. And economic games where you trade goods in for points or goods in for money often is a long drawn-out affair. Artificium is not that way. It says on here 20 to 50 minutes, and I think that's fair. It's about 20 minutes for 3 players and 50 minutes for 6. Not a very long game, and a lot going on in how you play the cards. Some kind of innovative mechanisms here. Let me show you. The goal of this game is to get the most points after 4 rounds. This is the point track, and this point track here has each player's markers on it, and as you move on the point track, if you ever pass there's several spots on the board that show resources, then you'll get those resources. Now this matters because each player has a player board here. And this player board is interesting because see this pile of yellow jewels? These are everything. If they're next to your board, they're money. If they're on your board, they're the resource of where it shows. So for example, this is a wood resource that you can buy for 2 and sell for 1 money if you want to. That wood resource can possibly be converted into coal or into food, and then that food can be converted into different ore or steel, etc., etc. So as the game progresses, you are going to be trying to convert different things into other things, and you're going to be doing that with cards. Now the way each round goes is each player gets dealt a handful of cards, and then 6 cards are placed face up here in the middle of the table. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Then each player has the opportunity to switch a card from their hand with a card that's face up here in front of everybody, and then it goes around the table. You can pass, you don't have to switch, or if you want to, you can just discard your whole hand and draw 5 new cards. After everyone has done that, you can then switch more cards, except this time, each time you switch a card, it's going to cost you 2 money to do so. Once everyone's decided that they're done switching and all, then these cards are discarded. Each player is now going to be playing 4 of the cards from 5 of the cards from their hand. Cards have different buildings on them, but those buildings aren't really buildings. Think of it as an action. So some of the cards are pretty simple. You play this one, you get 2 wood. You play this one, you get 2 grain. You play this one, you can take 1 of your wood, change it to a food. Change your wood to a coal. Change a grain to a beer. Change grain to food. Change food to ore. Change food to steel. Take a steel and a coal and change it to a sword. Take a coal and an ore and change it to a banquet or whatever, I don't know what that is. Take a banquet, a coin that you have, and some beer, and change it to a wizard. Take all those 3 of those things and change it to a knight. Now when you do these things, you're going to get that many points when you play the card. You'll leave the card face up in front of you, and you take that many points. You can see these are worth 8 points. And you'll notice that also the knight and the wizard, even though they're on the board, once you build them, that's actually not a resource you keep, it's gone. All the other resources have the ability to upgrade. And before you do any conversion, you are allowed to buy and sell goods on your board in case you need to convert a good that you don't have. If you can't convert the good with your card, then you can put the card back in your hand. There are 4 different action cards that can be played, and action cards take place before the goods are changed. Here I can steal a good from another player if I pay 1 or 2, if I take that good from one of the bottom 2 rows of another player. Here I get 2 gold coins for each card I have face up in front of me. Here I can steal a card randomly from another player, but they get to draw a card to take its place. And here I can take one of the cards that I've already played back into my hand. So players are going to do that. They're going to get points, and they're going to do it again. They're going to get points. They're going to do it again. They're going to get points. At the end of the game, you will sell all the goods that you still might have, and you get 1 victory point for each 4 coins you have. You add that to the victory points you got on the track, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, you can probably tell from the intro that I really did enjoy this game, and I like it because it keeps moving, especially with the full complement of 6 players, which I had a chance to play, and I enjoyed that because there is some interaction with the other players, and I'll get to that in a minute, but the whole idea of, okay, I'm trying to set my hand up so that I can play all the cards, 5 cards from my hand, and take the goods and convert them, and then convert them, and then convert them. I might not be able to do that, so can I spend money to trade cards, or use a special card to get what I need, or maybe sell some extra resources that I have to get the right resource to get points, because you're trying to maximize your efficiency in this game, and you want to do that by basically never wasting a card turn. Now, back to interaction. There are 2 cards that directly interact with other players. One is stealing resources, the other is stealing a card from their hand. Both of those can be pretty devastating on a turn. So someone might steal the good that you were about to convert and convert and convert. Now, they're not game-ending devastating, but they can be pretty annoying. The other one where you can steal a card, that might be the card that was the middle of a chain of cards that they were about to play. Again, that could be annoying, but it's not. I don't feel like it's end of game devastating, but that's in the game, so be prepared. There will be times where someone will be like, boom, to you. And probably you should go after the person in first place. Usually multiple people will have what you want. Although there have been times where you've seen someone draft a card at the beginning of the round, you're like, I want that card. I got a 1 in 5 chance of grabbing it. Let's do so. And money's tighter in this game than you'll think. You don't get that much money as the game goes on. You get a couple between turns, but that's it, and then the rest is from selling and getting goods. And you want to spend some money to draft cards, you want to spend money to get the goods you need, and so it's really tight all the time. But at the same time, this game is not a very stressful one. It's nice and easy and light and flowing. I had to get past kind of a mental block, because to me, I played a building, I was like, so what's the cost for that building? Well, there is no cost. You're not actually building buildings. The cards that you play each turn are discarded at the end of a turn. You're just playing the card for an action. And so I actually wouldn't have made them buildings for that reason. And maybe it's because I play so many different games where you do build buildings. They stay in front of you and they produce things and such. Here they don't. It's just simply, this card gives you 2 wood. This card changes a wood into food. But easy, quick, entertaining, and it plays well with all the number of players. Check it out, Artificium. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Freedom! Oi, shut the door!